There's times in life where you may find yourself in an unenviable position. Tyler Guyton was there on Sunday with Myles Garrett because, boy, you'll never find a hook move like mine. Oh my gosh, bruh. Oh my goodness. Make no mistake about it. There was one thing pretty much all Cowboys pundits were correct about as it pertains to the Cowboys versus Cleveland Browns game, and that was the fact that our rookie offensive linemen, they definitely got tested and they definitely lined up against some of the best in the league. And as far as how they fared, the tale of the tape tells an interesting story. All 22 is roughly about an hour long on both sides of the ball. So it's about 2 hours of just watching straight plays. And it's like 3 different angles of each play. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just kind of talk to you about what I observed during my time watching the film. It's kind of a film summary. I'm not about to be breaking nothing down to y'all. I am not a coach, and there's people much more qualified on this here platform that can do that for you, but the film does indeed tell an interesting story. So something I noticed throughout my time watching this film for the week, all right, I really was focusing in on the rookies on the offensive line for the most part. That was my focus on the offensive side of the ball because I felt like that was the most intriguing matchup. That was where the most action was taking place as it pertains to something that you will be watching film for, right? And what you will notice is, for one, Zach Martin, again, he got beat pretty early and it got Dak smashed. All right, it wasn't anybody else's fault but Zach Martin. Everybody else did a pretty decent job of protection. Zeke came over with excellent help with nice chips on the outside shoulder of Myles Garrett, so you can kind of push him back into Tyler Guyton a little bit. That was something I really want to lock in on, though, as it pertains to what I saw watching this film for this particular game. The coaching staff and the running backs, particularly Ezekiel Elliott. The coaching staff and the running backs did an excellent job. They did an excellent job of helping their rookies. If you are under the assumption that our rookies just completely dominated and it was just one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and it wasn't anything else to it but except for the fact that Cooper Beebe is great and Tyler Guyton is great, yes, that may be the case. Those two guys are absolute studs. But the coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, did an excellent job of helping those guys out. What do I mean by that? Whether it be them rolling the pocket away from Myles Garrett so that Tyler Guyton isn't solely responsible for having to block that behemoth of a man for extended periods of time, or whether it be bringing Zeke over, bringing someone over to help chip Myles Garrett, even though Myles Garrett probably deals with chip blocks, is probably the best in the league. He's one of the best in the league at dealing with chip blocks just because he's so huge, and the way he kind of gets back inside, and he kind of has moves planned out for how he wants to do with chips. Myles Garrett, he's a professional pass rusher, right? But whether it be the chip blocks or the actual play calling itself, I want to give a lot of credit to Mike McCarthy, Ezekiel Elliott, and just the coaching staff in general for really understanding that they didn't want to put their rookies in a bad position. By no means did Tyler Guyton have a perfect day. He did allow a couple of pressures, and one of those pressures almost led to a turnover when Myles Garrett actually got home, kind of took Tyler Guyton to his knees. That was something that you would really kind of see, is the fact that the strength, the overall strength of Myles Garrett was something that Tyler Guyton was having a hard time dealing with, and who wouldn't? So I can't really hold that against him, right? I mean, look at Myles Garrett. So that's not something that I'm looking at and like, oh man, Tyler Guyton, that's such a bad thing. No, but I'm not going to sit here and act like he had a perfect day either, all right? There was times where he was getting a little bit too far out on his sets. There was times where he was kind of extending his arms or shooting his arms a little bit too quickly. But for the most part, he did a decent job of giving Dak just enough time. He wouldn't have had more than the time he had. There was times where Dak got rid of the ball, and that was the moment where Guyton was done. He couldn't have held his block any longer. He would have been cooked at that point. But he did enough. He did just enough. This was a great first baptism into the NFL. It's not going to get much more difficult than what they had to deal with as it pertains to Myles Garrett and that combination of defensive linemen on the Cleveland Browns side of the ball, right? So overall, Tyler Guyton, it was a good day. If I had to give it a grade, I would probably say he had like a B+ type of a day. B+, close to an A-. There was just way too many times while watching the film that you would have seen that
had Dak not gotten rid of the ball as quick as he did, he would have definitely got hit by the guy that Tyler Guyton was responsible for blocking. And again, there was a couple of times where just some technique issues. It wasn't a perfect day by any means, right? But Cooper Beebe, as far as Cooper Beebe goes, he was pretty damn solid. For the most part, I don't really recall any like glaring issues that I saw with Cooper Beebe, or any moments where he just didn't really contribute or do what he was supposed to do, where he didn't do his job, right? There was not many moments like that on film. Again, the film about 58 minutes long or something like that for offense this week. And there's no way I'm about to just break down every single one of those plays to you guys. So I'm kind of giving you guys this overall summary of what I saw. And you can kind of put that together with all the other opinions and thoughts and analysis of the other people that you guys watch. Cause I know you guys watch a lot of people as it pertains to these film breakdowns. But Cooper Beebe, yes, you can absolutely see the strength. There was times where Ezekiel Elliott was running it right up the gut, and he was able to get 5-6 yards down the field strictly based off of Cooper Beebe pushing his man back. Even though he didn't completely throw his man out the play, he was able to push his man back and create space for the runner. And sometimes getting those 5 or 6 yard runs is really all you need on the play, right? But Cooper Beebe did an excellent job for his first NFL start as a third-round rookie center, converted rookie center at that. Excellent first start for Cooper Beebe. Tyler Guyton, excellent first start for him as well, especially given the circumstances of facing off with Myles Garrett. Just overall, really like what I saw from the offensive line in general. I think they did a great job given the defense that they were up against. There's only so much you can ask these guys to do, guys. When you're up against one of the best defenses and the top defense from last year, the Cleveland Browns, they were up against one of the best defenses. So there's really not much you can do as it pertains to how many times they're going to lose to the defense, right? So you got to expect some losses. There's not going to be times where the offensive line is just looking completely in control every single time. I'm not going to lie. Tyler Guyton had his damn hands full, bro. Myles Garrett was slapping, bro. Dudes was getting them with hands in the face and it wasn't getting called. Tyler Guyton had himself a day, okay? He probably got the most work put in on him out of anybody throughout the whole entire day. Outside of Zach Martin giving up that sack when that got absolutely smashed up the gut. But Tyler Guyton had himself a day, man. And just overall, I think the coaching staff, the running back Zeke, really showed his value here. Why he can still be a part of an NFL roster, man, because the way he was helping with those blocks on one of the most vicious pass rushers in the league with Myles Garrett, bro, the way he was helping on those chip blocks and whatnot, and just the way he was running the ball. He was complementing the physicality of the offensive line, and he was running the ball physically when he did get the ball. Zeke honestly did a really good job. Again, shout out to everybody involved. This was a collective effort, but now we look forward to the New Orleans Saints. That pretty much is going to wrap up everything that I'm looking at on the offensive side of the ball. I do want to highlight a couple of guys on the defensive side of the ball. I can really dive into that side because there was some interesting stuff going on over there. There was a lot of action right there. There's a lot of action right there. Be sure to subscribe for that, guys. We are on the road to, I don't know, hell, just make it 100K. Let's just say 100K, man. We're on the road to 100K. So be sure to subscribe so you guys can catch my stars of the defense for this week, in which we're going to take a closer look at the all 22 of a couple of different guys. I think you guys are going to be really interested in that. But either way, you can see here the pressure rates, the lowest pressure rates allowed by rookie offensive linemen in week 1 with a minimum of 10 pass blocking snaps. Cooper Beebe had a 0% pressure rate. Again, these type of statistics, you got to be careful when you're looking at these statistics, because a lot of this is not taking into account stuff like quarterback time to throw the ball. How much time did the quarterback actually have to throw the ball? How quickly were they getting the ball out? If the quarterback's getting the ball out really quickly, then guess what? You're going to have a low pressure rate. So you got to be careful when you're looking at these type of statistics. But again, this statistic does kind of show that Cooper Beebe had a pretty clean game for the most part. He didn't do anything just super crazy or have a highlight reel type of moment, but a very solid game overall. Tyler Guyton gave up 5.6% pressures, all right? 2 pressures out of 36 pass blocking snaps. One of those pressures absolutely had to be the forced strip fumble. And there was another time where Myles Garrett got pretty close to home as well, right? But overall, after Early on in the game, I think the coaching staff kind of realized that Tyler Guyton was going to need some help over there, as long as Myles Garrett was lining up over there. So they really did a good job of kind of rolling the pocket out to the other side and bringing some chip blocks, and just the way that they were calling the plays, calling quicker developing plays, or plays where they were kind of like timing plays and Dak's throwing to a spot rather than waiting for his receivers to get to a spot, right? So they just did a really good job overall. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, are you encouraged by what you saw from the offense as a whole, specifically the offensive linemen and specifically the rookies for the Dallas Cowboys? How them Cowboys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.